What's up? Happy Wednesday. All right. As Welcome to the SEC Huddle. Let's see. Here we go. Get the backdrop, whatever you want to call it, that screen off. But yeah, so I'm trying to do this. I'm gonna do this every week. I don't know if I'm gonna do this on Tuesdays or Wednesdays. Not sure yet. Might do it on Wednesday. I don't know. Have to see. But what's up, Paxton and Randall? So what I'm going to do is we'll go over the games that happened and look toward to the games that's going to be this coming weekend. So I don't know if I'm doing this on Tuesdays or Wednesdays. I don't know. I got to figure out. I'm not sure. Might be Wednesdays, but So what's up, Paxton and Randall? So without further ado, let's look at the games in the SEC this past weekend, and we'll just go down from the top of the list to the bottom. So no particular order that it goes in, but first game is look at this, Missouri and what the hell they play? Central Arkansas Bears. So Missouri's coming off a 10-3 season, and they got another talented team this year. Missouri's looking maybe 10 games again, as they just they just demolished Central Arkansas, which is not surprising at all. 61-6. As you can see, man, they scored. They just scored a whole shitload of points. As let's look at the scoring. As Johnson got the scoring off first for Missouri with a 49-yard touchdown reception from Bo Prabula. I hope I pronounced that name right. And they got 6-0, and then they added a field goal, another 31-yard run by the quarterback. Then he do a touchdown pass. They just demolished Central Arkansas. Really wasn't much to this game at all. But Prubella had 283 yards passing on 2 touchdowns. Hardy ran for 100 yards for Missouri, 10 carries and a touchdown. Johnson had 5 receptions for 134 yards. As they did what they had to do against Central Arkansas. There's really not much to discuss about this one. But so we're just gonna go in order. It's no particular order. All right, let's see. Next we got. Hold on, it's not. Where did it go? My screen's not shared now. Let's see. Might they do this every time? Let's see. Where'd it go? Where'd the damn screen go? Hold on. Well, this is upsetting. Is that where did the share screen go? Hold on. I'll have to get up in a minute. What's up, Paxton? Yeah, I'm gonna go over the Auburn game in a minute. I'm trying to share the screen out, and it's not working like it's supposed to. There we go. There it goes. Now it's now we're good. All right. Now it's shared. I think I'm going to do is I'm going to fix it every time. That's fine. All right. So Auburn and Baylor. Auburn wins 38-24. As Auburn's coming off a season where they went 5-7, as I think there was a lot of question marks going into the season about their quarterback in Jackson Arnold. But he played a good game. You see his passing yards. He only threw for 108 yards. He's not really much of a passer. So, but Auburn did get the win, 38-24. As Arnold threw for 108 yards, ran for 137. You see the lead receiver was Simmons for 26. That's not going to cut it in SEC play. Sawyer Robertson threw for 419 yards for Baylor. He cut up LSU last year. in the Texas Bowl. Washington ran for 54. Wilson ran for 134 yards for Auburn. As they got touchdowns from Arnold. They got touchdowns from Arnold, Austin. McPherson had a field goal. Cobb had a 2-yard touchdown run. Let's see. Pleasant had a 98-yard kickoff return. Baylor had just made it a 7-point game. Auburn put it back up to 14, and they were able to just able to stay ahead for the remainder of the game, as Arnold ended with a 27-yard touchdown run with about 4 minutes and 32 seconds to go in the game for Auburn. What's up, Tiger? Do I think Hugh Freeze has what it takes to turn Auburn around? I think he does. All depends on does Auburn give him the support he needs? And with the NIL budget, that's all it is. It's with the NIL now, man. It's all about the NIL, and with football, it's all about the NIL. If you don't put money into the NIL program, you're not going to have. I don't think you're going to be successful at all. But I think Hugh Freeze could be good at Auburn. Auburn's a school that has won before. Yeah, I know they've claimed all those. I know they wouldn't claim all these fake national titles, but they have won. They have won 2 legit national championships in their history. 57 and 2010. But yeah. All right, let's get to the game that Paxton's probably not going to want to talk about. As Ohio State, and this was a very defensive football game. 14-7 was your final score. As let's see. Here's one thing we should do is look at the team stats. Now, look at the team stats. I mean, Texas had 336 yards of offense to 203 for Ohio State. But what Texas couldn't do was finish drives. I mean, they had a drive. I forgot if it was the third quarter. I think it was the third quarter, or the fourth quarter. I know it had to be the third quarter when they were on the goal line and they ran a. I mean, when they run the formation, I said, man, it's not going to work. Ohio State had it. They had it bottled up on that one side of the line, and they didn't get a touchdown. So, but the play calling was pretty bad at times for Texas. I think Sarkisian. I don't know. I just think he had a bad day calling the game for Sark. But Arch Manning. I mean, he was 17 for 30, had a touchdown and an interception, threw for 170. Julian Sayin, I mean, he didn't light it up, but he was 13 for 20 for 1 touchdown. Wisner had 80 yards on the ground for Texas. Donaldson had 67 on the ground for Ohio State. And no, it wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't the receiver you thought it was going to be leading Ohio State in receiving yards. It was Tate with 49 in injuries. A tight end led them for receiving yards with 50. So. All in all, I thought this was a very, very good defensive game. But anybody that's just wants to just throw in the towel after one game, you're crazy, man. You're crazy. All right, so Ohio State had touchdowns by Donaldson, and then Tate had a 40-yard touchdown reception, made it 14-0 in the fourth quarter. Texas did get a touchdown late, but they were just unable to get that tying score. So Texas. Yeah, of course, Texas went 13-3 last year and lost to this Ohio State football team. In the Cotton Bowl last year, when Texas was driving to tie the game up, kind of the same kind of scenario. What happened Saturday would happen last year in the not last year, in the Cotton Bowl, when Texas had the ball with the 1-2 yard line, couldn't score, and it was like the same exact thing happened. All right, let's see. Let's back it up a little bit. Hopefully the screen shares like it's supposed to. So no particular order. I'm just going like what it says. All right, man. LSU and Clemson. As LSU wins 17-10, as Brian Kelly finally gets an opening win. It's been he was lost to Florida State twice, then lost to USC, and it was just it was a very good defensive performance by LSU as they shut down Clemson in the second half. LSU scored one touchdown in the third, one touchdown in the fourth. So Nussmeier had 232 yards passing, one touchdown, no interceptions. I thought that was big. Klubnik was 19 for 38. Klubnik was only like 50%, threw an interception. But the big part was the running game. I thought LSU ran the ball a lot more effectively than Clemson. As Caden Durham ran the ball for 74 yards. He was the leading rusher. Randall ran for 16. He was the leading rusher for Clemson. Then Aaron Anderson, which I think is our best receiver on LSU staff, he had 99 yards receiving, and Wesco had 66 for Clemson. So look at the scoring. You had Hauser with a 42-yard field goal. Ramos had a 52-yard field goal. And then Randall had a 1-yard touchdown run. That was on 4th down for Clemson. And then in the third quarter, LSU had a 2-yard run by Caden Durham. Trey'Dez Green had an 8-yard touchdown pass. Early in the fourth quarter, LSU was able to hold on. And they stopped Clemson late in the game. So let's look at the team stats, as I didn't do that earlier for the other games. But LSU really, I mean, look at the first down, it was 25-13. They had 356 yards at 261. Now, they ran the ball for 108 yards as a team to Clemson's 31, but I don't know. I think LSU's running game was pretty pedestrian, if you want to ask, if I would be honest with you. They really didn't run the ball as much as I thought they should have ran. I was expecting them to run the ball better than what they did. But they need to, I think they only ran for like 3.5 yards per rush. Man, that's okay, but I mean, you want to see that above 4. But all in all, but you got the win. You got the win for LSU, and that's really all that matters. Yeah, LSU did dominate the time of possession in that football game, and time of possession is also big in football. All right, in this next game, you see Georgia played Marshall. Not really much to look at. Georgia wins 45-7. Stockton had 190 yards passing. He also was a leading rusher with 73. Branch had 95 yards receiving for the Dogs as they win 45-7. Georgia, they also went to the playoffs last season, and they lost to Notre Dame in the Sugar Bowl, and they went 11-3 last year. The Dogs, so they're looking to bounce back from that disappointing loss to Notre Dame in the Sugar Bowl last year. But there's really not much to go over in this game. Look at the stats. We're gonna look at the stats real quick. Georgia dominated 488-207. Then they ran the ball for 239 yards to 78. The time possession. They were almost a 10-minute lead in time of possession. There's just really not much to go over. When you're playing a team that you're gonna blow out, especially Marshall. Now, Marshall had to replace their whole football team last year after their coach, took another job. The whole team just opted out. The whole team left. Literally, the whole team left. On there, and that's just sad. How can a new coach come in, and build a competitive football team when everybody from the prior season left? That shouldn't be allowed in college football. Yeah, the cover was close. That's about it. Yeah, the cover was close. I just don't understand how that can happen in college football. How they can allow this to happen. Just teams, the whole team just left. All right, we got this next one was a upset, as a lot of people thought Alabama was the one that was going to blow out Florida State. As Florida State really dominated the line of scrimmage. Now, Castellanos really didn't throw the ball well. He was only 9 for 14 for 152 yards. But the line of scrimmage Florida State just dominated them in the line of scrimmage as they went 31-17. As Ty Simpson had 254 yards passing for the Tide. Riley only 31 yards rushing. But when's the last time you seen Alabama? The leading rusher only has 31 yards rushing. That's something under Saban that you would never see that under a Saban coach football team, where they run the ball so ineffectively. Bernard had 146 yards receiving for the Tide, as they just got thoroughly beat down in this game. And I mean, if you look at the stats, it really doesn't tell the whole story. 382 to 341. I mean, if you look at the total yards, it just didn't tell the whole story. Now the rushing yards, this is where the rushing yards, here's where the game really, you can tell who won the football game. As Florida State had 230 yards rushing, Alabama had only 87. As a lot of people picked Alabama, Paxton. A lot of people thought that Castellanos was crazy for thinking that they were gonna beat Alabama. That's I had it right. That Florida State was going to beat Alabama. Everybody called him crazy. He didn't know what he was talking about. And he woke the giant. But man, things are rough. Things are rough over there in Tuscaloosa, as Tide fans are finding out what life is like for the majority of college football fans. You're not. All right, next game probably not going to go over too much. Is Florida beat Long Island University Sharks 55-0. I mean, do we really need to go over this game? Florida played a team called Long Island. I mean, Lagway did throw for 3 touchdown passes. Jones, the backup, threw for 2 touchdowns. But I mean, they played Long Island, man. Ball ran for 104 yards. Brown had 79 yards receiving, so I'm really not going to spend too much, on this football game because, they played Long Island, man. yeah, Long Island. All right, let's see. Now we got Oklahoma, another game. Yeah, Oklahoma and Illinois State Redbirds. I mean, I really can't wait till we go 9 to 9 conference games next year, and at least one of these games for the SEC will be taken away. One of these games where we play Illinois State, Long Island. Look, LSU does it too. LSU plays Southeastern coming up in a few weeks, another an FCS school. So LSU's not immune to this, but at least it's going to take away something. You watched this one? No, I didn't watch this one. But Batier, the transfer from Washington State, threw for 3 touchdowns, 392 yards. It did have an interception, but I think Oklahoma is going to be much more improved in the passing game this year as they were last year. Last year, they came off of what were they record last year? I have written down. They were 6-7 last year. So I think Oklahoma can win 8-9 games this year, but but we'll see. It's a long season. Overreacting for one game is crazy. All right, so Blaylock had 44 yards rushing, and Lewis had 119 receiving, as they got touchdowns from Mateer, Burks, Blaylock, Lewis, and Lewis, as they beat Illinois 35-3. Let's look at the team stats real quick. As look at the running game. Look at the running game. 117 yards for Illinois State to 103 for Oklahoma. So that's kind of that'd be kind of alarming if I'm a Oklahoma fan. But you really don't want to overreact after 1 week. But that's something that needs to be reversed. Oklahoma is the one that should be running the ball more than Illinois State. Hello, Thailand. I mean that should be they should have had over 200 yards rushing over a team like Illinois State. All right, let's see. We're going now next on the list. We got Texas A&M and Texas San Antonio Roadrunners. Texas San Antonio actually has a really decent football team for the conference that they play in. So Texas A&M wins 42-24, as Reed had 289 yards passing. Only random, but their leading rusher was Reed for 39, and Craver had 122 yards rushing for Texas A&M. Let's see, man. We'll look at the stats real quick. once we get to that. But McCown had 121 yards passing for the Texas San Antonio, but they ran the ball well. Look at the Henry. He had 177 yards rushing for the Roadrunners. So that's could be that's something you don't really want to see happen. Oh no, week in week out. If you're a Texas A&M fan, because if the Roadrunners can run on you, and you're playing in the SEC, you know what's going to happen in the SEC. But look at the rushing yards, 203 yards rushing for Texas San Antonio, only 110 for A&M. So that's something that Texas A&M probably their coaching staff, Elko, will probably want to work on, is getting their running game going, and their run defense stiffened up a little bit. But it's all but Texas A&M did get the win, and A&M though they're coming off a season that they were 8-5. 8-5. They seem like they're always like 8-5, 8-4. I saw that one COVID year when where they were like 10-1 or something like that. They won the Orange Bowl. All right, let's see. We got next. We got Ole Miss and what's that? Georgia State, 63-7, as the Rebels win. Simmons had 341 yards passing for Ole Miss. Lacey had 108 yards rushing for Ole Miss. Wallace had 130 yards receiving for Ole Miss as they rout the Panthers 63-7. As Lane Kiffin's going to have a good offense, man. Lane Kiffin's going to have a good offense. I mean, I don't know if they're going to have a season like they had last year. They were 10-3 last year, and they barely missed the playoffs last year. No, they beat LSU. They probably would have. If they had beaten LSU last year, they probably would have gone to the playoffs because they would have been 10-2 instead of that 9-3 in the year. So Ole Miss, that game against LSU that they had that game won last year, but they all right. Let's look at the stats real quick. As Ole Miss had 695 yards of offense. Look at that, Paxton. 695 yards of offense, and they had 295 yards rushing, 400 through the air, and you look at the penalties. 8 for one team, 8 for the other team. Yeah, the referees wanted to make. I guess they wanted to be on camera with all those penalties. 8 for one team, 8 for the other. All right, man. Let's see what we got on the list here, man. We got Tennessee and Syracuse. This was one of those with the Aflac kickoff games that was the early game on Saturday, as Tennessee wins 45-26. As Tennessee raced out to a 17-0 lead, but if you look at the second to the fourth quarter, Syracuse actually kept this game close. Minus the first quarter. Tennessee really got to a big start, as Aguilar had the transfer, had 247 yards passing. Rushing yards, Thomas with 92, and Staley had 95 yards receiving for the Volunteers. Yeah, they jumped out to that 17-0 lead, and they were able to just keep that lead throughout the game, as Tennessee wins by 19 points. Yeah, I think Nico. The Bruins looked awful against Utah. All right, look at the yards. At 495 to 377. The passing yards, actually, Syracuse had more, 274 to 247. But the rushing yards is really where Tennessee won this football game. They had 248 yards rushing to Syracuse's 103. So yeah, I mean, when you run the ball for like 250 yards a game, if you're getting 250 yards, you should win the game. All right. Let's see what we got next here, Paxton. Oh, we got Mississippi State and Southern Mississippi. And this game was played in Hattiesburg, Mississippi. As Mississippi State wins 34-17. Mississippi State was god awful last year. They were 2-10 last year. It's a shame what happened to Mike Leach a few years ago. I mean, I'm not saying Mississippi State would have been like a 10-11 win team every year, but they'd be a lot better than 2-10 with Mike Leach. It's really upset what happened. I was really upset when I found out what happened to Mike Leach, but Chapin had 270 yards for the Bulldogs. Booth had 79 yards on the ground. Thompson had 92 receiving yards for the Bulldogs. They had a touchdown from Chapin to Traore for 55 yards. And then they had a field goal. Then they had another field goal. Then Bothwell had a touchdown run. Then Bothwell had another touchdown run. And then Booth had a touchdown run for the Bulldogs. So, Southern Miss. I mean, they're not. I mean, they've fallen on some hard times last several seasons, but more times than not, but they've had a good team. But all right, we got now. This game surprised me with the score. Not really. If you look what Kentucky was last year, Kentucky won one conference game last year, and they were 4-8 overall, and they had one win in the SEC last year. They barely beat Toledo, 24-16. As Calzada, I mean that's the A&M transfer, only had 85 yards passing. That's not going to get it done in the SEC. I mean, look what they gave up. Gleason had 270 for Toledo. But Dowdle had 129 yards rushing for the Wildcats, and Cactus was the leading receiver, the tight end, with 43 yards. I watched a little bit of this game, but I mean Kentucky just really. I don't know. They might be in for another long season, and they might be making a change come into the year with their head football coach. So let's look at the stats. This was just a really I don't know. All right, because they actually got outgained 329-305. Passing yards 270 to 85. Look, if Kentucky's throwing the ball for 85 yards a game, they're not winning any SEC games. Now they did run the ball well, 220 to 59, but when they get into conference play, the competition is going to step up, and they're not going to be able to run the ball for 200 yards a game against the SEC schools. But Kentucky might be looking for a new coach at the end of the year. Another team that might be looking for a new coach. I know they won this game. Is Arkansas beat Alabama A&M 52-7, but as 52 penalties total, that's what it said. But Arkansas was 7-6 last year, but I don't know, man. Something tells me this might be the last year for Sam Pittman. I think Arkansas might be in for a long, long season. I just don't know if they're gonna. I just don't know if they're gonna have a winning record come the end of the year. I just think they lack some talent. And they're not going to be really good in the SEC, but we'll see. But Green had 322 yards passing for the Razorbacks. Washington had 79 yards rushing. Blake had 121 yards receiving for the Razorbacks. Did have one touchdown, as they had first they got a field goal, then a touchdown from Sharp, then Brown had a touchdown reception from Green. Then you had Blake with a touchdown. You had Brown with a touchdown. You had Pesky with a 5-yard pass from Green for another touchdown. And Washington had a touchdown. So all in all, I mean, if you look at the passing touchdowns, he threw 6 touchdown passes. Green did for Arkansas. But, I mean, it's not going to happen too much in the SEC when they get to SEC play. Look at this. Look at the team stats, huh? No, I didn't. I didn't look at these. Arkansas had 552 yards total of offense. They had 358 yards passing, ran the ball for 194 yards. I'll agree with that. Yeah, they have a better passer than they had last year. Arkansas has a better quarterback this year than they have last year. I just think when they get to better competition, you're not going to see these kind of games from Green for the Razorbacks. All right, got a few more games to go over. Then we got to look at the next coming week here in the SEC. All right, you got Vanderbilt. They beat Charleston Southern 45-3. As Pavia had 275 yards passing for the Commodores. Alexander had 83 yards rushing, and Stowers had 86 yards receiving. He was leading receiver for the Commodores. As Barnett had a touchdown, Sherrill had a touchdown, Newberry, Alexander, Young, Lassiter. So the Commodores are 1-0, and they're coming off a season where they were 7-6 last year. Look, if Vanderbilt can go 7-6 every year, 8-5, man, their coach will be there forever. I mean, Vanderbilt's not a team that's going to be fighting for a playoff spot, but but if they win 7-8 games every year, they'll put up a statue for their coach. And speaking of that, they probably should put up a statue for James Franklin for winning 9 games a year up there. But Vanderbilt had 481 yards of total yards, 280 passing, and 201 yards rushing for the Commodores. All right, let's see here. I think we got one more game to go over, and then we got to look at Paxton. What we got this coming weekend in the SEC. We got South Carolina and Virginia Tech. As the Gamecocks win 24-11. This game was really boring until the fourth quarter, when a punt return changed the momentum of the game and flipped it to South Carolina. Virginia Tech, Drones threw 2 interceptions. One was a bad interception. He threw one in the end zone that cost Virginia Tech a touchdown. But Sellers threw for 209 yards, a touchdown. Attaway had 60 yards rushing. Harbor had 99 yards receiving for the Gamecocks as they go to 1-0. Sellers opened the game off with a 15-yard touchdown run for the Gamecocks, and then we had a safety and a field goal. Another field goal was 10-5. Then it was another field goal 10-8. It was a really boring football game until the fourth quarter, when we had a punt return for a touchdown, and then Nick Harbor had a 64-yard touchdown pass from Sellers to make it 24-11. And that was just all she wrote. But it was a really boring football game until the fourth quarter, when we had some kind of offense by these teams. We have Virginia Tech and don't they? I think they play Vanderbilt this week. We'll have to look at that game. But all right, look at the total yards: 336 at 334. Virginia Tech actually had more yards than South Carolina. The rushing yards were pretty even, 125 to 115, 221 to 209 passing yards. That was pretty even. Just the interception, the 2 interceptions thrown by Virginia Tech. One was in the end zone. It was a horrible throw by the quarterback, and it took away 7 points from Virginia Tech, and just was a sorry. Let's now we got to look forward to these next week games, and. All right, Paxton, let's see. Let's go to week number 2. Hopefully my share screen stays. It does. All right. Okay, so this one goes in order. We'll go look at the games in order, starting from the early game, to the late game. As you can see, there's some games that really don't. I mean, a lot of these teams this weekend are playing. Just. Nobodies, okay? Let's face it, nobodies. All right. Texas and San Jose State. Texas is 0-1. San Jose State is 0-1. If you watch, I watched San Jose State the other day when they played. Their kicker cost them the game. So if it comes down to a kick, I wish it's not going to. But if it does, San Jose State really doesn't have much of a kicking game. Look at the matchup predictor. I mean, it's a 90. It should be 99.9% for Texas, but they got a 98.8 to 1.2. So the analytics favor Texas big in this game. The over under is 36.5, and I'm sorry, scratch that. The point spread is 36.5. Excuse me. The point spread is 36.5. The over/under is 52.5. I think this game. I think this game should go over 52.5. I think Texas should score over 50 points in this game. Texas should cover that 52.5 by themselves. If I'm going to be honest with you, Paxton, I just don't see. I just think that Texas should cover that spread, and they should cover the over by themselves. So, yeah. Of course, I haven't picked them yet. I haven't picked this game yet. But yeah, this game is going to be 11 o'clock local time. It's going to be on ABC. Nice, ABC. So they put these games. Some of these games just shouldn't be on TV, and they shouldn't be on TV, and they should just. Nobody's going to watch this game. No, the majority of the college football public is not going to watch this football game. Probably for more than one drive. All right, then we got another game. Let's look at another game that's crappy. You got Texas A&M against Utah State. As at least Utah State's 1-0, but A&M's 1-0. As they give them a 96.2% chance of winning. There's the ESPN analytics, but this game's gonna be on the SEC network. Over under is 54.5, and the point spread is 31.5. Man, now I'm liking these. I like Texas to cover, and I think I like A&M to cover. You think Utah State can cover? I don't know, but over under is 54.5. That's man. I kind of like the over there too. I kind of like the over in this. I like the over in this game too. Honestly, you see the money line's off, which is kind of weird. You can't bet the money line, and you can't bet the money line on Utah State. I mean, I get it. You can't bet it on A&M, but this is on ESPN Bet. This is not FanDuel, stuff like that. So it could be different on other betting sites, but essentially the money line's off, which is kind of weird because what if I want to bet Utah State on the money line? I should be able to do that. All right, then you got another game. Georgia and the Austin Peay Governors. I mean a 1% chance. They give them a 1% chance to win this game. It should be zero. Should be zero. Austin Peay has no chance at winning this football game. None. Zero. Yeah, this game is going to be on ESPN Plus, huh? ESPN Plus and the SEC Network Plus. So at least they got this game right. Let's see. It doesn't have a spread. Yeah, I don't see a spread. This game don't even have a spread on it. This game is so bad, man. It don't even have a. I'm sure you can bet it somewhere, but ESPN Bet doesn't have a spread on it. Yeah, so Austin Peay's in 1AA. This game. As they did beat Middle Tennessee State 34-14 last week, but that's a Middle Tennessee State is a Division 1, the 1A school. So Austin Peay did beat a 1A school, but they're not going to beat Georgia. And they're not going to beat Georgia. All right, here's actually a decent football game. Could be. I say decent because it's a conference game, but Ole Miss should beat Kentucky. There's a conference game on ABC at 2:30. It's going to be Ole Miss versus Kentucky. Ole Miss has an 83.6 win percentage here on the analytics, and they're favored by 9.5 points. Wow. And the over/under is 50.5. Man, I kind of like. I think I like Ole Miss to cover this, man. No, man. I kind of like Ole Miss to cover this. I think about it. Over under is 50.5. See, I mean, I don't know, man. So some of these games, man, Vegas is hooking you on some of these lines. They're really making you. They're really trying to make you think about it and pull the trigger on the over in some of these games. But yeah, so Ole Miss, of course, they beat Georgia State. Kentucky beat Toledo, but at least it's a conference game. Yeah, this is a conference game, but 9.5 points. Ole Miss might cover that, man. They really might. All right, now this game might actually, I missed one, didn't I? I missed this one. Yeah, I didn't go over it yet. I didn't miss it yet. I'm sorry. All right, we got Tennessee and East Tennessee. Another game with no line. Another game that says there's no line on ESPN. As Tennessee is a 99% chance to win the game. As let's see, the East Tennessee State beat Murray State 45-17 last week, and there's no line on this game at all. Wow, there's no line on this game at all. But Tennessee should get this win easily. Another game that's on the SEC Network Plus, ESPN Plus, so it's not on TV. Yeah, some of these games shouldn't be on TV. They should just be on the freaking app because nobody wants to watch it. Nobody wants to watch it. So kudos for ESPN to put some of these games on the app, not TV. All right, we got. Now this is this could be a really good football game. It's a border rivalry. We got Missouri and Kansas. Kansas is 2-0 as they've already played. They played week 0, so they played. They played a week, before everybody else. As ESPN has a 64% chance to give to Missouri to win. As they got Missouri a 6.5-point favorite, and over under is 51.5. This game is okay. This game's at in Kansas. Okay, no, it's in Missouri. Excuse me, it's in Missouri. Sorry, the game's in Missouri. Excuse me, but 6.5 point favorite for Missouri, and over under is 51.5. I don't know about the over under. Over under seems kind of high. Who did Kansas? Who's Kansas played? Kansas has played. They played Fresno State and Wagner. Yeah, and Missouri played Central Arkansas. Neither one of these teams played anybody worth a damn. But this game is gonna be on ESPN2. So this actually might be a really good. This actually might be a really good competitive football game. This is a border rivalry. When they were in the Big 12, these two teams played end of the year every year. So this actually might be a really good football game. All right, then we got Florida and South Florida. Interesting game. South Florida did beat Boise State last week pretty handily. What was it? What score was it? Yeah, 34-7. And of course, Boise went to the playoffs last year, but Boise did lose the running back from last year. No, Genty. But see what we got here. We got 17.5 point favorites for Florida. Man, this is a shiny hook. Man, shiny hook. I mean, I'm betting South Florida plus 17.5. If I'm South Florida, I mean, if I'm betting, I like South Florida in the points. Over under it's 56.5. Man, the under. What you think, Paxton? The under in this one? The under in this one? But this game is going to be this game is going to be on the SEC Network. But man, I don't know, man. I think that South Florida plus 17.5, man. Just, I don't know. All right, they got Arkansas and Arkansas State as the Red Wolves. They came off a victory over Southeast Missouri, 42-24. As look at the point spread. Arkansas is favored by 23.5. Look at the over/under, 62.5. I mean, you look at 62.5, you think right off the bat, man, there's no way they're going to cover that. There's no way they're going over. But Vegas, Vegas is usually smart with their odds. Now, look at another game that's going to be on the ESPN Plus, SEC Network Plus. Man, I don't know about the over/under. That just screams to me under. And Arkansas to cover 23.5. You know, Arkansas probably should cover that. I mean, they do have a 89.5% chance according to the analytics to win. As man, that over under, man, it seems high. Seems really, really high. Man, all right, we got another game no line on this game. As you got South Carolina playing South Carolina State. And let's not look at another game. SEC Network Plus, ESPN Plus. As not really much to go on this game. I mean, look, South Carolina State struggled to beat Wofford, 16-15. So this South Carolina will probably win this game by 30, 40 points. They'll probably win this game by at least in the 30s. They're gonna beat South Carolina State. The Gamecocks had no problem with this, man. I know they're not that impressive, but they're gonna blow out South Carolina State. I know they didn't really look impressive the first week, but they're gonna blow the fuck out of them. All right, then we got LSU and Louisiana Tech. This is another game that's gonna be on the SEC Network Plus. 37.5 is the point spread, and over under is 51. I like giving the points and betting the over. Louisiana Tech is awful. They're not good at all. I mean, they beat Southeast Louisiana 24-0 this past weekend. They didn't really look good doing it. They're not going to be able to score against LSU. LSU's going to win this game by like 50 points. Well, at least by 40. I mean, they're going to win this game by at least 40 points. I mean, it might be like 50-10 or something like that. That goes over, right? Over under 51.5. I like the over. I like the over in this game, and I like the. Low flying plane. I like the. I like the over, and I like laying the points for LSU. I think they're gonna beat the crap out of them. All right, then we got Mississippi State against Arizona State. This game is going to be in Starkville. Arizona State, of course, they won the Big 12 last year. Went to the playoffs. They're 1-0. As ESPN actually gives them a 54.3% chance at winning this game on the road. As Arizona State is a 6.5-point favorite, and the over/under is 59.5. Man, give me Bulldogs and the point, says Paxton. So give plus 6.5. Look at the over, man. The over/under, it's almost at 60. That is just crazy, man. That just screams under. Under. I mean, man. That just screams under, man. I don't know. But, man. And I don't know. Because the Mississippi State, they played Southern Miss. They didn't really play a great team. So who did Arizona State play? See, they didn't look. They didn't look good. They only won by, 19 points in their game. That Northern Arizona probably. Man, you might be right, man. You might be right. You might be right about the Cowbells and the points in this one. All right, then we got probably the best game in the SEC. It's not an SEC game, but it involves an SEC team. Is you got Michigan going to Oklahoma to face the Sooners, as the Sooners have a 53.5% chance of winning. As Michigan, they beat that's New Mexico 35-17 last week. Of course, Bryce Underwood starting quarterback for the Wolverines. But look, the over/under is 44.5. Vegas thinks this is going to be a real low scoring game. 44.5 is low for a college football game. I mean, that's like, 23-22. Man. And the point spread, the Oklahoma is a 5.5 point favorite at home. See, that's so your Underwood is going on the road for the first time, and we've seen freshman quarterbacks struggle on the road this season. So it's probably going to be probably a good chance for Oklahoma to go 2-0, getting this win over Michigan. But we'll see. But I mean, if the 44.5 is low, man, I mean, I would think the over kind of screamed out at me, but I'm not sure, man. Vegas knows something with that game. That's a real low over/under. All right, we got Auburn and Ball State. As we got some games here that really don't matter. Auburn's got like a 98.5% chance at winning, of course, according to the analytics, as they're favored by 43.5. Over/under is 52.5. The money line's off. Look at the over/under in this game compared to the last game. This not much to talk about this game. Auburn's going to win this game. It's just a question: are they going to win by 43.5? Probably not. They probably not. They probably won't cover that spread. That's a lot of points given up. That's 43.5 points. That's a lot. They probably won't cover that, but. Yeah, again, give me Ball State to cover, but probably not by much. Or I think I've done. Oh, I forgot about this game. There's another game that's in the late window. You got Vanderbilt going on a road to face Virginia Tech. Vanderbilt's 1-0. Virginia Tech is 0-1. Look at the analytics for ESPN says, Paxson. Look at the analytics here. 63.3% chance for Virginia Tech to beat Vanderbilt. Virginia Tech is actually favored by 1.5. Over/under is 47.5. Man. Look at that. Man. Vegas is trying, man. I don't know what Vegas is doing here, man. But, man, they're just screaming at you, man, like to bet Vanderbilt, bet Vanderbilt, bet Vanderbilt. Man, it's screaming to bet Vanderbilt. Yeah. That one left tackle couldn't block South Carolina. Wow. That's great. Then you got Alabama playing UL Monroe. Alabama 0-1. Louisiana Monroe 1-0. Man, as Alabama's a 36.5 point favorite, and over/under is 50.5. I think Alabama's going to win this game by a lot. I think they're going to bounce back from what they did last week, and they're going to beat the shit out of Louisiana Monroe. I don't think this game is going to be close at all. This game is going to be on the SEC Network at 6:45 Central Time. But yeah, I think Alabama's gonna beat the shit out of UL Monroe, and I don't think this game is gonna be close at all. I mean, there doesn't. I mean, look at. I mean, they threw for 95 yards last week. 1/3. I mean, they're not beating Alabama. That game is gonna be close. I mean, the only thing is the over under. Is the over under going to be hit? But it's at 50.5. And that's the only question I have is it going to be? No, is it going to be so? But yeah, man. Yeah, give me Vanderbilt all day, man. You're right. Give me Vanderbilt all day. I just yeah, Vegas is screaming at you to bet Vanderbilt. But yeah, that's it, man. There's your week 1 wrap up, and then week 2 look forward to. But yeah, so I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna try this every week. I don't know if I should do this on Tuesdays or Wednesdays. Because I want to do an NFL week. I want to do an NFL show also. But I gotta do that one day, and then might do the NFL on Tuesday and do the college on Wednesday. But yeah, South Florida and Florida is interesting. Interesting to see if Florida, they played Long Island. Some of their fans are all giddy about that. So about how they look, but you played Long Island, man. I don't know what this low flying plane is always flying over us. Not really sure. I'm not really sure what they look for, but yeah, tomorrow is tomorrow's Thursday. Tomorrow we got the Cowboys and the Eagles. Cowboys and the Eagles. So that's gonna be the opening night for Sunday Night Football. If you haven't done so, make sure you sign up for the NFL Pick'em. It's on my community tab. I don't think many people saw it because it's not many people have signed up. I suppose last year. Eagles are 9.5. We're not really close to a military base. Are they 8.5? Let's see. Yep, 8.5. That's it. Phillies favored by 8.5. Man. It's a lot of points in it. It's a lot of points in an NFL game, man. I forgot. Friday's game is on YouTube. The Chiefs and the Chargers are actually on YouTube. I mean, I probably won't do that. I probably won't do that game. It's on YouTube. Do the game. It's pointless. Everybody's been watching on YouTube. There's really no, and the Friday college football games are pretty garbage. Anyway, yeah, that's I found it. I did find Alien. I did. I don't think if I saw that, it was a long time ago. A long time ago. I know I've seen Aliens, the one from the the mid '80s. I know I saw that one. But yeah, it was on Hulu and I watched it last night. But yeah, man. So I'm gonna try. I'm gonna do this every week, and if I have 3 people watching, I got 3 people watching. So that's not about that. So, but I did like it. I thought it was actually interesting. I did like it. So like I said, I haven't seen the second one in like years, probably decades, probably. Probably been 20 years since I watched Aliens. So I'll have to do that, man. What's up, man? Hey, what's up, Andrew? You just joined the picks. Good, man. Yeah, I just got done going. I just got done doing the review and the preview in the SEC. I'm gonna do it every week. I'm gonna try to. I should stick to a certain day and not like flip flop it. So I did it on a Wednesday. I should stick it to a Wednesday, and then do the NFL on Tuesday. That way, people know when you're live. It's not good to flip flop shows like that. So I'll probably keep this one on Wednesdays. Because usually there's nothing. There's no NFL going on Wednesdays. Not yet anyway. One of these years, Goodell might have Wednesday night football. But yeah, the Alien was terrifying. It was. All right, man. Well, yeah, that's gonna be it, man. And I'll be live tomorrow for the NFL football game. We got the Cowboys and the Eagles. No, yeah, Cowboys and Eagles. Yeah, I think that game is going to be a lot closer than what Vegas thinks. It's a divisional game. No, Dallas doesn't suck. But I think that game will be a lot closer than what the experts think. All right. But I'll see you guys tomorrow. And remember, we'll do it next week again. Same bat time, same bat channel. Going to be 8 Eastern, 7 Central on Wednesdays. So the SEC Huddle. So we'll see you guys next week. Hopefully next week we'll get some more people in watching.